Good evening or good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. This is going to be a really great segment. Trump is ready for a showdown. He's ready to get down and dirty. To my super chat, thank you so very much. You give me every incentive to rock these live streams. Let's get this show on the road. There's actually a live Senate vote on government funding bill with $5 billion for border wall. So they need 60 votes. It's almost certainly not going to happen. And he's ready for a showdown. Matthew Whitaker, there are reports saying, oh, well, he ignored advice to recuse himself. No, he's not Jeff Sessions. Jeff Sessions, 2 years, he allowed... The other day, somebody on my channel said, oh, HA, you're being dishonest. Sessions recused himself after he became Attorney General. That's even worse. The only way he became Attorney General is because he promised people he would recuse himself. But then, if that's the case, then the timeline makes Sessions even more diabolical. If he was already Attorney General and recused himself, that's worse. But, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to the wall funding. Trump threatens a government shutdown that will last a very long time. This hurts Democrats more than it does Trump. It hurts establishment Republicans also, because you're going to find out who on the conservative side will not vote for the funding for Trump's wall. Now, whether you have a fence or a wall, if you have Obama deporting 2.5 million people, and also there was a couple articles the other day talking about how at this point in their presidencies, Obama deported more people. So, and then you have, my God, you have liberals they've lost their minds. You have Mia Farrow and meathead Rob Reiner and others who are like, oh, suddenly they're, the big foreign policy hawks. These are the same people who, if you ask them about Vietnam 30 years ago, they'd be like, oh, yeah, anti-war. And then now they turned into just these war hawks. And they're like, oh, Putin, you're helping Putin. This is from the same people who don't care that Obama presided over 20% of U.S. uranium capacity being sold to Vladimir Putin. So they have to go hardcore. They have to kind of pretend that they're so interested in national security. But let's read this right here. December 21st, 2018, New York Times, Washington. Hours before a midnight deadline, White House officials and senators scrambled on Friday to cut a deal to avert a partial government shutdown as President Trump, unwilling to drop his demands for funding for a border wall, sought to blame Democrats for a crisis that had previously said he had previously said he would proudly own. So again, the New York Times the way they write this is hilarious. In a burst of late afternoon activity, after a day of confusion and inertia in the Senate, Vice President Mike Pence rushed to the Capitol to meet with Senator Chuck Schumer of New York, the Democratic leader, searching for a plan to break an impasse that Mr. Trump has shown little interest in defusing. He wants a policy objective he promised his voters. Democrats are hilarious. They're okay with Obama deporting 2.5 million people, but a wall is immoral. How does that work? You can't have a wall, but you can deport 2.5 million people without abolishing ICE. Oh, and by the way, how do you think he was able to do all of that? Utilizing ICE. So there you go. I mean, there you go. There's the hypocrisy. along with all the other examples of hypocrisy. But let's continue. I'm feeling better than I did an hour ago because the meeting is occurring, said Senator John Cornyn of Texas, the number 2 Republican, adding that he was so happy about the session, which, not sessions, the meeting, the session meeting, session or meeting, which also included Mike Mulvaney, Mr. Trump's budget director and incoming chief of staff, and his son-in-law, Jared Kushner. The fact that that's happening represents progress. Still, the Senate floor was a picture of dysfunction and paralysis as leaders struggled for hours without success to an agreement to begin debating a stopgap spending legislation passed by the House Thursday night that would keep the government running through February 8th and provide $5.7 billion to begin construction of the border wall, Mr. Trump's signature campaign promise. Well, I think that the signature campaign is indicting Clinton. But you know what? Like I said, he is the best president of my lifetime. And I love Trump for bringing home Americans. You bring home Americans, you reverse U.S. foreign policy, which is a failed interventionist foreign policy that creates problems. I swear, just YouTube policies, you literally can't say certain words or they'll demonetize the video. So, but these insurgent groups, you know who I'm talking about. They were created because Bush went into Iraq, overthrew Saddam, and then you have mayhem, chaos, a Pandora's box of problems. And people are like, well, we have to remain there as a way to, deter insurgents. Like, no, that's not deter. They live there. They're there forever. These places aren't our countries. They're not part of the United States of America. We have no, in Syria specifically, there's zero strategic interest aside from trying to be a nuisance to the Russians, which shouldn't be part of any foreign policy strategy. I love how Democrats are like, yeah, we can't let Putin. Meanwhile, they're like okay with uranium, selling Putin uranium. Selling Putin uranium, no problem. Not a problem at all. Live Senate votes on government funding bill with $5 billion for border wall. Right now it's 47 yay, 47 nay. But look at that. Look at that. It almost certainly won't happen, but if it happens, that would be hilarious on so many levels, because then you have all the Medicare for all, green economy, abolish ICE people who duped their voters yet again in the Democratic Party, and Trump will get his border wall. Not only will Democrats not abolish ICE, but they will have possibly, when it's all said and done, voted for Trump's border wall, which is hilarious. Meanwhile, there could be a government shutdown that exposes Republicans who, the measure was doomed regardless, given that it would need bipartisan support to advance, and Democrats are uniformly opposed. What was supposed to be a 15-minute vote to take up the bill dragged on for hours as Republicans toiled even to secure a majority. So there are Republicans like Jeff Flake. Senator Jeff Flake, Republican, voted against it. Senator Bob Corker of Tennessee delayed his vote. So Flake, that's the thing. You have a unified Democratic opposition. You do not have a unified Republican. A cashier told me Merry Christmas. I'm so triggered. I'm literally Great Barrier. Thank you for your work, AJ. Yes. Yes. Hashtag I'm literally shaking. Ah, everything is just so warped in this world now. The liberals. It's funny. I never thought I'd be speaking like this, like the liberals. But what it is what's taken place. They've legitimized their neuroses as morality. What they've done is everything through the prism of the left is linked to all the different neuroses, all the different eccentricities, masquerading as morality. They don't care so much about morality. They don't care, because if they did, they would have compassion. Notice what's lacking from the liberal morality police: compassion. Rhinos are traitors. Poison is as bad as them. Eric Schultz, yeah. Jeff Flake. Jeff Flake says, "No, I don't like Gowdy that much. No, Gowdy is like a more intelligent Ted Cruz." Who's this, Corker? So all these Republicans don't want the wall, which is not. If you're, I'm not a Republican. I'm a Trump supporter. The wall should have been negotiated with Democrats. Democrats should have received some type of concession, but they have too much hubris. There's too much arrogance. They could have immediately received citizenship for what, 2 million dreamers. They didn't want that. So let's see. Now they're going to have a government shutdown. Once Trump turns the screws a little bit, because with a government shutdown, it's not really, Trump is still president, but it's it's Congress that they're like under the gun. They have to sign a deal or come to some kind of agreement, and the longer they don't, the longer it looks bad. The more it looks bad for them. They're the ones that Trump benefits greatly from a government shutdown. So Congress rushes to break border wall stalemate with ours. I'll find it so amusing if Democrats came in, and that's why I didn't think people would buy their Bandini, but of course, as always, the left never learns. Never ever learns. They wanted to abolish ICE, and they'll eventually be forced to fund Trump's wall. Meanwhile, at this point, Obama deported more people. That's pretty much everything you need to know. Luke St. Martin, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Raise taxes on Birkenstock. Then they'd protest that. Congress rushes to break border wall stalemate with hours to go until partial shutdown. The Senate is set to reject a House-passed temporary spending bill that includes money for President Trump's border wall. Lawmakers are rushing to find a solution to break a government funding impasse ahead of money. Okay, Trump promises a long shutdown. I can't. His tweets will be like legendary during the shutdown. Like, he'll be like tweeting, "Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing this evening, Pelosi?" "Oh, nothing. That's right, because it's a shutdown. Dummy Democrats, weak sauce, weak. You're all weak. Ha 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 ha. Tree climbing. You winter without Congress, we can dream." Hi, Lonesome Hillbilly. Hello. Tree climbing. Thank you. So if you're a Republican and you're wondering who... By the way, Ted Cruz is one of these people. Yesterday, I had a whole list. You want the list of people who are secretly working against Trump? Flake, somebody put Flake as a hero for what, voting against it. Hold on, let's see the actual vote. Let's go to the Senate website. I want a live floor activity. Where's the floor webcast? Okay. What am I looking at here? Can I just get a real time? So it looks like it's not going to pass the Senate. Watch floor proceedings. All right. Listen to the... Okay, so hold on. Watch floor proceedings. Hold on 1 second.
George Meany, Senate, the American labor movement decided he had...
Oh, Lord.
In effect, you were making it illegal for any state to have right to work.
What is going on? Oh, okay, gotcha. It's Fox has the same thing. Okay, so hold on 1 second.
Except the legislative filibuster was in place. At that time, he took 67 votes, and Everett Dirksen toured the country, and he was able to defeat a measure supported by overwhelming Democratic majorities. Now, why do I tell those stories, Mr. President? It's because the shoe's on the other foot right now. The Republicans are in charge. And we hear many people, including the president, say, get rid of the filibuster, get rid of the legislative majority, let's do it our way. Madam President, we should not do that. We have never done that in the United States Senate. The Senate has always been different. One senator said to me a few minutes ago, that's the whole reason I came to the Senate from the House. So every time the majority got an idea, it wouldn't be like a freight train running through the Senate.
All right, so this is a Democrat. Who is speaking now? It's not going to pass right now, and he'll probably have to... Democrats will probably be like, here's $2 billion. Eventually, like, there'll be a government shutdown, and they'll try some way to spin it, and they'll give like Trump like $1 billion or $3 billion or $4 billion, but it won't be $5 billion. So they'll save face somehow with, who knows. 60 vote in 1975, the Senate revised its cloture rule so that 3/5 of sworn senators, 60 of 100, could limit debate. Jeff Flake. Let's look at Jeff Flakey. Flakey Corker. Saw that on Jeff Flake. Democrats are calling him a hero. He's a hero. Oh, look what he tweeted. The Senate filibuster is about the only mechanism left in Washington that brings parties together. Okay. Deploying the nuclear option would blow that up. I will not vote to do it. Of course you won't, Flakey. Why would you? Mitch, use the nuclear option and get it done. Our country is counting on you. What a moral guy you are, Flake. You're a really good person. Britton Johnson. Great collage behind you, HA. Britton, hello. You are missing late Chris. I love Chris Farley. I have to put Chris Farley. I love him. A sidebar. I know he just agreed to fight Cain Velasquez. Wow. Wow. Boom. Britton Johnson. Yeah. Wow. That should be a really great one. That should be a really, 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 really great fight. Thank you, Britton. Thank you as always. I hope all is well. Merry Christmas and happy holidays and happy New Year to you, Britton. Thank you. Itchkun Diddy. Merry Christmas, Goodman. Itchkun Diddy. Merry Christmas to you and to your family. Thank you. Have a safe, happy, wonderful, awesome holiday season and New Year's. And Jeff Flake wishes you, both of you, and everyone a happy, happy New Year. Eric Schultz. We know why they want our guns, criminals. Eric, yeah. Well, that's a whole thing. Oh my God, I can go into that. They don't mind. These are the same people that want to limit the Second Amendment at home, but have no problem abroad. Just advocating interventions and regime changes and all these. So let's see. It'll be interesting, you know. The live chat on on Fox News is hilarious. It is kind of reminds me of my own live chat in a way. Is MK Ultra just glitched? this guy, one of the senators is. That's crazy. Is he reading or no? The whole thing. That is bizarre. That is really bizarre. Oh, okay, yeah. So let's see. So they're not going to vote for it because you need 60 votes to get it through the filibuster. And ethics officials said Whitaker should recuse from. No, they said that he didn't have to, so eat it. But his advisors told him not to. Good. Excellent. Well, I mean, the whole point of firing Sessions is to get somebody with some kind of, you know what? Washington Post, the senior Justice Department ethics official, one person, concluded acting attorney general should recuse. One person. Wow. But advisor to Whitaker recommended the opposite. And he has no plans to step aside. Good. Can you please fire Mueller? Fire Mueller. Just fire Mueller. Okay? It's really simple to do. Really, 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 really simple. It's not difficult. They're going to impeach Trump anyway in the House. They'll find something. They'll pass the House. And then it'll get to the Senate, and it won't pass the Senate. You need 2/3 to impeach in the Senate. 67 senators. Randall Kingery, thank you. Thank you, Randall. Thank you, Randall. Horace! Shabbat shalom, my friends. I've missed you all. Horace, we've missed you, and Shabbat shalom to you, Horace. Thank you. Thank you, Horace. Thank you. It's going to be interesting. Horace, thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be interesting. All of this is the past 2 days bringing home Americans. And if you add up the Americans he's bringing home, so around 11,000, it could be close to 11,000 in those two countries. That's more important. Horace, thank you. Shabbat shalom to you. Thank you. That's a Jewish, it's a Hebrew word. It means a happy Sabbath. Jewish people have Sabbath. Sinye Talupin, thank you so very, very much. I just want to, so live Senate vote. You know, C-SPAN. Eric Schultz, call it what is a treason we pay taxes for. Well, that's the thing with government. You definitely, that's the thing with Trump. Trump has dealt with so many Republicans who are basically Democrats in terms of opposition to Trump. C-SPAN Senate. So you have McConnell, you have Chuck Schumer, 48-47. Pence casts 12th Senate tie-breaking vote to proceed past. Okay, so they need 60 votes, though. So it's not going to pass. So we will have a government shutdown. Child of Yah, how does the wall bill pass the House but not the Senate? Because the House, you just need a majority of Congress. The Senate, you need just a simple majority. But the Senate, you need 60 votes because it has to pass the filibuster. So it's a 60 vote threshold, and then it would be able to go through. But for that, you only have 50 until January. You have 51 Republicans. You would need 8 or 9 Democrats. So I thought the Senate was a Republican majority. Yeah, it is barely by 3, senators. That's why they went through the whole craziness with Kavanaugh. Thank you, Child of Yah. So there you go. Oh, this is great. To anger a conservative, lie to him. To anger a liberal, tell him the truth. That's pretty much accurate. It's pretty much accurate. Tell the truth about Clinton. The truth about both Clintons. Oh my God, gets liberals so angry. Now you have Rob Reiner, Mia Farrow. You're putting America in danger. Military experts tell us that insurgents remain active and will leave. And if we leave, we'll expand. What? So what are you saying, Mia Farrow, that are just the presence of our soldiers there not fighting will prevent these insurgents from, or are you saying that Americans should continue fighting? What are you saying, Mia Farrow? While they celebrate in Moscow, Iran, and Damascus, they celebrate in Damascus. Yeah. What are you doing? What is she even advocating? If people are celebrating in Damascus, that means that There are Syrians happy. What is she even advocating? She wants to now overthrow Assad. It's like impossible. And then there's meathead Rob Reiner. It's like their minds have completely morphed. Spirit of Freedman, GoFundMe Trump wall. We can give the funds to the government. But that's not, we need HR 7207 lumped in with government funding. Bill, contact your reps, new inform everyone I spoke to. Yeah, Spirit of Freedman, thank you so very much. I would urge people not to give to the GoFundMe because that's not going, I mean, where's the money going to go once, I mean, are people going to get their money back? Because the House is going to be controlled by Democrats January 3rd. So what's going to happen to that money? I would urge people not to give to the GoFundMe because I have no idea where the money's going to go. And the government is not going to just take the money and build a wall. So just be careful, everyone. It's like the liberals become hawks, but then, if you say something wrong, it's like, oh my God. Mike Sherman. HA, I want to wish you and the chat a Merry Christmas. Everyone stick together and be happy. That's how we win. Mike Sherman, Merry Christmas to you. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. And yeah, everyone have just a happy holidays. Merry Christmas. And be safe. The roads are crazy. Unfortunately, people like Beto O'Rourke drink and drive because Beto was arrested for drinking and driving. Maracho Beto. Well, how does anybody know that the money will go to the wall? I mean, that's I've said enough about things that I disagree with. I mean, just be careful. That's all I'm saying. Be careful. And I don't know if there's a mechanism to get your money back. If it doesn't, I mean, if there is, great. Let's see. Government shutdown. Government shutdown. These senators, they just look funny. All of them. They look so funny. They look like actors. Like if you wanted to get actors to play senators, that's what they remind me of. Okay, so government shutdown. So then this is an article in this is an interesting article. Kind of gives you a glimpse into what Fox is about. Forget the shutdown. It's Mattis that matters. Okay. Everybody enjoying a nice slow news Friday before Christmas? Dysfunctional governments are like bad NBA teams. They never really try until the clock is almost out. So it's not surprising that we see a great deal of churn and angst in the closing weeks of the year. Nor is it surprising that the fight is entirely about political opportunism and blame casting. This is the phoniest shutdown fight in a lamentable 20-year history of phony shutdown fights. Both sides want to increase federal funding for border security, one by $1.6 billion, the other by $5 billion. In a normal world, the members of governments running trillion-dollar deficits. Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go. And 22 trillion in debt would scoff, split the difference and call 3.3 billion and pour some eggnog, fighting over 0.3% of just the current load of deficit spending among Obama. No one talked about deficits with Obama. What was it? Who was it? Cheney said, "Oh, deficits don't matter." Then Obama had a $1 trillion deficit. Then he cut it to what, 500 or 400 billion. And then I get the rebuttal from one of my buddies. He's like, "Well, he cut the deficit. He had a $1 trillion deficit for a while." Oh, it was the recession. The recession ended technically in 2010. You can look that up. When did the recession end? You'll find articles saying 2010. Whether they spend $5 billion or $1.6 billion, or whether the government is partially shut down over the coming four-day holiday or thereafter, is a matter of relatively little consequence. Really? We feel bad for anxious federal workers, but from the question of lasting consequences is a bad farce. More consequential is what's taking shape in the military. Oh my God, we're bringing home Americans from war. Yet again, another calamity. Another calamity. Just as Mattis. Trump chose Mattis because of his remarkable accomplishment. Okay, just as Mattis' arrival calmed Congress, erased public sentiment about Trump's preparedness as, okay, coming as it does with sudden policy lurch and certainty bringing Americans home. All those conditions will be made worse. Who cares what people think of Trump? Remember that while it's obvious that Trump's 2016 opponent was pretty obviously just chucking up anything that came to mind, it was not. What? I don't know what this guy's talking about. The unavoidable political truth for the president is that national security is his Achilles heel. Really? Really? How so? Because he's bringing Americans home? Because he's presiding over peace between North and South Korea? Really? Interesting. And national security, this is a fantastic article. Wow. By Chris Starwalt. And national security was Obama's forte. He was so fantastic with destroying Libya and all of these insurgents, the name of which I can't pronounce because then, it's against YouTube policies apparently. Really? That's interesting. I thought Obama called them the JV team. The Iran deal was fantastic with 21 ballistic missile tests. What a great foreign policy Obama had. The West. HA, great work as always. The West. Thank you. What a wonderful. How is foreign policy Trump's Achilles heel? What? Because France is like imploding? It's all about image. Like, I swear it's just image. But Punky Brewster, this is a federal endeavor. This is an endeavor of the federal governments, because you're obviously going to go through different states. If it's an endeavor, and then you have the maintenance. So I actually wrote against the wall in the Huffington Post years back, because conservatives were talking about a wall, and it's like $60 billion in terms of upkeep. So it's not just the funding to build it, it's the upkeep. Now that I'm a more conservative on many issues, and I look at Obama's track record in terms of immigration, deporting 2.5 million people, if Democrats can get, because I would like dreamers to become citizens, because I have friends who are dreamers, and I want them to become citizens. If Democrats can get some kind of, negotiate some kind of benefit for their constituents. But see, Democrats don't do that. And if the wall can protect the country from trafficking of different sorts and criminals, that would be a good thing. Mike Sherman, thank you so very much. Thank you. Oh, I agree. Armageddon Watchtower. I agree. I agree with you. So, like, this is meant to be a fun little article. It's like, oh my God. Also, yes, Mattis is a very accomplished man. But when has there ever been a general or a military leader that said, "Oh yeah, just bring home the soldiers"? When has that ever happened? When has that ever happened? So even bringing home Americans is seen as this maniacal thing from Trump. Hitchcock did it. Mattis was activated. I think on this activation thing, that's bass backwards. Yes, Hitchcock did it. Any military intel officer who's like, going on 8chan in his like cubicle in government, like, oh God, I hope praying medic sees this. I bet you, like, the military intel officers obviously don't exist. Eric Schultz, tens of billions for Israel, but no wall for us. Imagine there's like military intel, and they're like, I can't wait for praying medic and Jordan Sather to read my riddles. Oh my God, we're fighting the deep state. Meanwhile, Mueller's still there and Sessions was never activated. They forgot to activate Sessions. How hard? What do you like? Put him in water and he gets activated? Is he like one of those chia pets? They forgot to activate Sessions. Sessions like, I'm just waiting here, trying to get activated. Those military intel promised they would activate me. Huber, activated. Activate Huber. Activate me. I wouldn't have said one word about Q if people just left me alone. If like I wouldn't even have cared about it. But then I realized it was dangerous for a number of reasons. One of which was people, like, I would say like one thing in passing, like, yeah, that's not happening. That's ridiculous. It's age. No, Darren's not speaking through message boards. It's dumb. I would say like one thing, and then I'd get like DMs from people, and then I'd get like, messages from people. Hey, Jay, been watching you 2 years. Listen to me. Listen to me, AJ. Like you a lot. Get off Q. Don't talk about it anymore. I'll let that go. I'll let it go. You brought up Q once. I'll let it go. I still love you. Everything's fine. Don't bring it up again. Don't bring it up again. You bring it up again, I'm unsubbing! Then I brought it up. And then people are like, dude, I lost like what, 600 subs? It's crazy. Crazy. It's crazy. Unsubbing! And the best is like the lead up. I just want to let you know you haven't done your research. No, really? I'm supposed to go to the library and read Q posts? Tell me about this research. You haven't done the research. You don't even know what you're talking about. Really? What research? What research? How many, you know, how many universities are researching this? Should I write my doctoral thesis? As it says when in the Q post 17654 on 4chan. Oh, I'm sorry, 8chan. Activate sessions. Trust sessions. 10 times they said trust sessions, trust sessions. Why would you trust the attorney general? Why would military intel say trust the attorney general? That's stupid. Bimbo Dickens. Dishonest neocons, wouldn't they want Trump to fail by withdrawing? See-through concern. Oh yeah, that's true. No, that's very true. Bimbo Dickens. Trust matters. Just anyone telling you to trust anything. Like, it's just, it's not, it doesn't make any sense. Oh, Max Boot, a giant Christmas gift to our enemies. And then he goes, he writes, apparently, Trump can't do anything right. We don't need troops in Syria. A giant Christmas gift to our enemies. This is a guy who wears the fedora hat, Max Boot. Oh, wow. What a intrepid guy. What an intrepid, awesome. Gee, harken back to yet another time. Yet another time period when people had integrity like Max Boot. Oh, wow. Barf. Barf. Eric Schultz. We need a published list of all trade. Eric Schultz, I'll tell you right now. It's in the Hill. I mean, I don't know about this vote. I could tell you the people who. The Hill. Senators against wall. Oh. Well, there's 8 Republicans in the House. Justin Amash in Michigan. Oh, wasteful spending. Ken Buck, Colorado. This guy, Justin Amash, the massive wasteful spending stuffed with unrelated items. It's amazing how some wall funding causes my fellow Republicans embrace big government. Watch out if Democrats attach wall funding to Medicare for all. The bill could be called Medicare for Wall. This guy's actually funny. It's kind of funny, even though he voted against it. Medicare for Wall. Oh my God, that's funny. Representative Ken Buck, Representative Carlos Curbelo, Representative Will Hurd, Representative of Texas, Representative Eric Paulson, Representative Elena Ross Leighton, Representative Fred Upton, Representative David Vallado. Those are the 8 in the House who voted against it. But the senators, I had McConnell rejects using nuclear option. Senate Majority Leader spokesman says the Senate does not have enough votes to change its rules and pass border wall funding with a simple majority. The leader has said for years that votes are not there in the conference to use nuclear option. Just this morning, several senators put out a statement confirming their opposition. Pop issued a statement. Trump urged McConnell Friday morning to pull out all the stops to fund the wall. The House passed on Thursday. Republicans have a 51-49 majority in the upper chamber. Democrats can block a House bill with a filibuster, which requires 60 votes to overcome. There you go. He said the Senate's traditional 60-vote threshold for quashing a filibuster has prevented our country for decades from sliding towards liberalism. Orrin Hatch said this. Ooh. Look at that. There you go. Katrina Gems. I believe in the flan. I'll say AJ's my YouTube crush. Katrina! Trust the flan. I love good flan. I love good flan. Katrina, thank you so very much. Thank you for watching. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Katrina. Trust the flan. The flan. What is wrong with my stupid phone? The flan. Good flan is a fantastic thing. It really is a fantastic, fantastic thing. Let's see here. CNN's Journalist of the Year, fabricated stories just to hurt Trump. Trump derangement syndrome. That's so great. Sid, Journalist of the Year. He just made things up. I love it. You talk about fake news. Oh my God. You talk about fake news. Thank you, Stephen Johnson. Thank you. Thank you for all your kind words, everyone. Lord. Then when you say, like, when you tell Q people, like, yeah, Sessions was horrible. They're like, well, he put Huber in place. Then you're like, well, Huber was horrible. Then you're like, well, he put Whitaker in place. Like, no, he resigned. Whitaker was next. God. They can't accept defeat. Or that it's just, nonsense. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very, very much. Tom Fitton has a photo with his just, oh my God, it's a gun show. This guy puts me and most people to shame. My God. Guy's ripped. Christmas update, Obama Syria mess. Mueller. I'm gonna retweet. This is awesome. This dude works out. He's in great shape. Alex, thank you. Luke St. Martin, thank you. Our love. All right, everyone. God bless. I'll see you a little later on. Have Horus. If I don't get another opportunity, I would like to wish all of our friends a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and very best to everyone. Peace and love. 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 Horace, thank you so very much. Thank you. Patriot 95, thank you. Luke St. Martin, thank you. Horace, and thank you all for just watching. And 2018 has been a great year. Great year for this channel. We got over 100,000 subs, and we're at 130 now. Who knows? Maybe 200,000 in 2019. Tell your friends about this channel. Lackland Bird, thank you. Sailing Florida, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Megan for AG, thank you. Thank you, everyone. God bless you all. Thank you all. To my super chat, you are awesome, and you help, support my voice. It's greatly, greatly appreciated. Have a great evening. I'll see you soon.